sixth season of Martial Universe arrived with the usual anticipation that accompanies a top-tier Chinese 3D donghua. But before the story even had time to fully warm up, a massive wave of controversy swept across the entire fan base. When the platform announced that advanced on-demand viewing would begin as early as the fourth episode, countless viewers found themselves stunned and frustrated, not because they were unwilling to pay, but because the shift arrived so abruptly, cutting into the natural rhythm that audiences had already grown familiar with over previous seasons. For a production that already carries both the praise and criticism of long-term fans, this sudden monetization shift reignited long-standing debates about the future and finances of Chinese animation. Behind the scenes of these beautifully rendered episodes lies an equally complicated reality. Producing 3D animation in China is a money-burning endeavor. Every model, every character rig, every lighting pass, and every moment of dynamic battle choreography requires enormous labor, computational resources, and time. And when a project uses high-end tools like Unreal Engine 5, introduced in this season to elevate special effects and lighting fidelity, the production cost rises even further. It's no exaggeration that a single episode can cost more than 1 million yuan to complete, making financial pressure a constant presence hovering over the production team. But the more shocking truth is that the channels for recovering such massive investments are incredibly limited. Advertising in donghua rarely brings in stable profit. Merchandise takes years to develop into a mature revenue stream, and offline events or licensing deals are nowhere near the level of Japanese animation's long-established commercial chain. That's why, for the platform, advanced viewing becomes the most immediate and reliable form of revenue recovery. And the divide of the original 24-episode plan into 2 shorter seasons of 12 episodes each is a calculated commercial strategy. 2 shorter seasons mean 2 waves of early access viewing, 2 waves of monetization, and 2 waves of fan spending. The calculation is simple but sharp. If each season has an advanced viewing period near the end, profit doubles. And if that early viewing window moves even earlier, to as soon as episode 4, then the potential revenue grows even more. It is an aggressive strategy built with a clear goal: quickly regain investment in a production that continues to grow more expensive year after year. However, this is where the conflict arises. Viewers weren't prepared to face a paywall this early, and many felt blindsided. They expected the pacing of the previous seasons, advanced viewing toward the finale, not at the opening arc. Fans who have followed Martial Universe for half a decade voiced an emotional truth. Supporting a series financially and emotionally is one thing, but being rushed into paying with no warning is another. Many pointed out that while the special effects indeed look polished, certain aspects of the storytelling feel rushed, almost as if the production team themselves were under pressure to accelerate plot points. The life and death reincarnation pill arc, a pivotal moment for fans familiar with the original novel, was streamlined so heavily that it felt more like a narrative checkpoint than a dramatic turning point. This disparity between visual quality and narrative depth sharpened viewer dissatisfaction, making the early paywall feel even more abrupt. As the controversy grew, discussion shifted beyond Martial Universe and toward the broader landscape of Chinese animation. Advanced on-demand viewing has quietly become an industry norm. From Perfect World to Swallowed Star, nearly every major donghua has embraced this monetization model. Platforms continuously test how far early access can be pushed. Should it begin in the middle of a season? Should it start even earlier? How much content can be locked behind pay-per episode? And at what price points will viewers accept or reject this model? Every subtle adjustment is part of a larger experiment, one that weighs the fragile balance between user experience and commercialization. Yet when the experimentation becomes too aggressive, as in the case of Martial Universe Season 6, the audience reacts with visible backlash, reminding the industry that viewer patience is not unlimited. But this conflict also reveals a deeper dilemma faced by Chinese studios. High production cost demands strong revenue-generating strategies, yet an over-reliance on advanced viewing risks damaging long-term IP value. For the past decade, the most successful Chinese animations have all relied heavily on pay-per-view models. However, newer monetization pathways are slowly emerging, proving that innovation beyond paywalls is possible. Ling Cage, for example, has built a thriving merchandise ecosystem, selling figures, apparel, and collector books that resonate deeply with his fan base. Meanwhile, Time Agent has successfully bridged into brand collaborations, weaving its characters and themes into products and campaigns that expand its commercial reach while strengthening connection with its audience. These paths demonstrate that when commercialization grows naturally from the value of the content itself, rather than cutting off content behind a paywall, fans respond not with resistance, but with pride and enthusiasm. For a major IP like Martial Universe, the current controversy becomes a form of market feedback that cannot be ignored. Fans want to support the project. They understand the high costs of animation, and they appreciate the improvements in technology and visual spectacle. But they also want transparency, stability, and respect for their viewing habits. They want storytelling that matches the price they are paying, pacing that reflects thoughtful production, and a release strategy that doesn't force them into premature spending. When a production demands more from its audience while delivering less narrative richness, trust begins to erode. And once trust weakens, even the strongest IP can begin to falter. Yet beneath the surface of frustration lies something hopeful. This controversy underscores the passion of viewers who care deeply about the future of Chinese animation. Their reactions, criticism, and demands reveal a community that desires growth, maturity, and innovation in the industry. Not just visually, but commercially and narratively as well. Chinese 3D animation has reached a stage where technological ability is no longer the primary limitation. Instead, it is the challenge of building sustainable, respectful, long-term business models that will determine its future. And the story of Martial Universe's Season 6 becomes a vivid reminder that while rapid monetization may solve short-term financial problems, true success will only come when content quality, pacing stability, and user experience align with the revenue strategies behind them. If the industry hopes to continue evolving, reaching wider global audiences, and elevating the reputation of Chinese donghua as a whole, it must internalize these lessons. Viewers are not opposing monetization outright. They are opposing abruptness, inconsistency, and the feeling of being pressured rather than engaged. When production teams, platforms, and investors work in harmony with audience expectations, trust grows, loyalty deepens, and the path towards sustainable animation becomes clearer. In the end, the most important truth is that audiences are willing to pay, but only when the value they receive feels worthy of the faith they continue to place in the work. As the dust settles around the debate, one thing remains clear. The evolution of Chinese animation is not just defined by technology or special effects, but by the delicate balance between creators, platforms, and the viewers who support them. Whether this season's strategy becomes a warning or a turning point will depend on how the industry listens and adapts. For now, all we can do is watch how Martial Universe continues its path forward, carrying both the weight of expectation and the hope of innovation. If you've followed this far, thank you for joining this deep dive into the reality behind the series. Stay tuned for more insights, more stories, and more exploration into the world of donghua. The journey continues, and I'll see you in the next one.